Welcome back to the That's Rank podcast, the podcast where we rank your ideas on the fly. My name is Liam.
Howdy, folks. My name is Rob.
And g'day, I'm meth chef Lucy Wong.
Lucy Wong's here. Lucy's got those glasses today, and she's rocking them out. How do they make you feel?
They make me feel very, very cool, very, very powerful, and honestly, I'm kind of turned on.
Oh wow! Right. You
know an accessory that can do that to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully we don't spin that topic up tonight. Accessories that turn you on, because you're set. You're done. You're already.
I'm done. I'm wearing them right now, and I'm hard as a rock.
There we go.
Cut that out.
That's impressive.
No, we're not cutting nothing now. We've set the tone. No, but this is the That's Rank podcast where we rank your ideas on the fly. Lucy's been very kind enough to join us tonight for our episode. Very excited to have Loose Cannon Lucy right here, ready to rock and rank with us. We're available everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, the other one, Apple. And we need your ideas for this lovely wheel. We've still got plenty to go through, but we need to put your ideas on here. Rob, how do people give us those lovely ideas?
They can find us, Liam, That's Rank Pod at Gmail, at Insta, at Facebook, at YouTube. And I'm still grappling with the early tone set forward by Meth Chef, and
yes,
and hard as a rock. I'm kind of liking that we're taking this in a different direction tonight. So buckle in, everybody. I'm ready for it.
That's right.
I'm feeling like a little bit wide myself. So look, bring it on.
And probably good reason. But before we come to why you're so wide, Mr. Rob, Lucy,
a bit wide.
Please.
Yeah, I've just been in the kitchen. I've just done a double. Just made 146 souffles in 25 minutes.
Now, Lucy, tell us a bit about yourself before we get too far into the drug paraphernalia. Tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about Lucy Wong. What do you do?
Lucy Wong. I'm a theatre maker. I'm originally from Melbourne, but I moved to Perth to study. And I just turned 25 on the 1st of November. And
Merry Christmas.
I have...
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Feliz Navidad, of course. I've realized since turning 25 that everyone, it feels like now for the last, 28 days, everyone that I've met is also 25 or younger. And no one is... I just felt like before I turned 25, everyone was older than me. But now people are the same age as me or younger than me. And I work at a bar, and so I've got to check IDs. And do you know that if someone's born in 2004, they're allowed to drink?
Yeah, no. Ain't that crazy?
Not on my watch. I was like, out of here. Okay? You turn around, take this fake ass ID back to the bloody print shop where you got it from.
No, I'm actually legally allowed to be here. It's fine.
But you're making me feel old, so go home.
And get out of here.
Yeah.
And stop asking for a vodka pineapple.
I mean, that's a dead giveaway. Can I have a pint of passion pop? It's like, okay, hold on. Where's your ID?
Yum. Passion
it's
pop.
Good that you're only meeting people your same age, Lucy, which is why you're on this podcast today with me and Liam, because we're totally...
Exactly.
25 is a great year.
Yeah, 25. Guys, we're all 25. What's on the bucket list before 30? Before we kill
I'll tell you what. I'm thinking I'm going to buy a house, wife, 2 kids, all that fun stuff. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Dude,
set myself up for
freaking 2. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, nice.
These next 5 years are going to be so great. Catch me in 5 years. I will still be at the garden in Leaderville. Shout out to the FJM property managers charging $12 for a bowl of chips. You guys earn your money, and it really shows.
The true hero. The true heroes.
And I'll be trivia hosting, of course. I'm trivia hosting
course.
tonight, and I'll be trivia hosting in like 1,000 Wednesdays time. So don't worry.
Go on. Plug it. Plug the
Oh yeah,
trivia.
come on down to the Morley.
Come
Come on down to the Morley local, folks, at 7 p.m. The prizes are not as good as they used to be, but the trivia is always good because it's written by a bunch of like millennial dudes in Brisbane. So there's always a question about Taylor Swift for all those Swifties tuning in,
Wow.
and there's always a question about like films for the film bros, because those are the two. You know, you got your film bros and your Swifties.
You've just hit Rob. That's his entire thing. Films and Swifty. So
I'm both of those things.
that's his
Exactly
entire.
right. I'm the demographic you're looking for.
Question number 1 tonight is a 6-pointer of all of the Martin Scorsese films that star Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you reckon you can name them?
Wow.
I could name them.
The
And
Departed. The Departed.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Go, Rob, your turn.
Wolf of Wall Street, The Departed, Killers of the Flower Moon, something Island. What's that island one?
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. That's 4. Is there one more? Is there? Or is there 2 more?
2 more.
2 more. Okay. Look, maybe I'm not. Oh my God. What did I say? I said Wolf of Wall Street. I said The Departed. I said Killers of the Flower Moon. I said Shutter Island. Oh,
one of them has the word "the" and then something.
Oh.
And then the other one is 4 words.
The Gangs of New York.
Yep.
No, the
Gangs
Revenant.
of New York, yeah.
Revenant was another filmmaker. Gangs of New York. Oh yes, so going back. Oh, I'm blanking on the last one. I'm blanking on the last one.
The Aviator.
Oh, The Aviator.
Oh, wow.
God damn. Yep, god damn. It's a good thing this thing's
Well,
not being posted until after the quiz. Otherwise, like...
People are going to be writing that down.
Yeah, people are going to write that down in preparation. And the second answer is Travis Kelce.
Of course,
Yes.
Exactly. For the Swifties.
Oh, wow.
For the Swifties.
For the Swifties. Yeah. But it'll be like, how many rushing yards did Travis Kelce run? And they'll be like, no, that's not. Actually, they probably would know, actually. Swifties probably would know exactly how many.
They would.
Exactly how many.
Yep, they would.
Now,
one of the questions really was about the position that he plays, and all the Swifties know it.
Oh.
Like, I'm not a Swiftie myself. I live with a lot of Swifties, though, and just the detail that they know about Miss Swift and like her life, and it's pretty amazing.
it's full on. It's full on.
Is
It
it?
is.
And don't you dare say anything bad about her, because if you do, they'll find you. They'll bring up your history, your entire internet history, and they'll find something wrong with you, and then they'll tell everybody. Oh dear.
Put the sunnies on.
Oh dear.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
It's
I
big
got your
chef,
internet
big-
history from
No
2009.
joke.
Yeah, it's big shit.
If we're talking about like the size of force, like we're talking about the size of force, like if you could rally a bunch of people around a cause, like honestly, that would have to be one of the biggest armies that you could rally. Would be the Taylor Swift fans. Like you'd probably get like a bill.
Oh my gosh,
couple of
that would be
and BT.
that would be a great rank of like ranking armies of like fan bases.
fan
Do you
base
know
armies.
people are saying that
Well,
like
did you
Taylor
see-
Swift is the Princess Di of our time? Would you guys agree?
Oh God.
Well, she's still.
Well,
I mean,
alive,
there's a bit of a difference. There's a significant point of difference, which I think should be celebrated in the case of Taylor Swift.
yeah.
I think she's the.
If she goes to Paris, then we'll reconvene.
I'm trying to think.
Are you
of
guys
like
hearing? Are you guys hearing me at all?
Yes.
I'm hearing. I was thinking. Sorry, I was
Okay,
thinking.
just checking. Okay, that's okay.
I think there is.
That's
I
okay,
think there is. I was trying to think of who the equivalent is, because I feel like Madonna was like a
massive dollar.
provocateur, right? And Britney Spears was like a provocateur. Like whereas Tay Tay's not really a provocateur. Like she's like really just giving the people
Just
what they
written
want.
a shit ton of songs, like so many. And I'm not sure. I'm still laughing at Liam being
look-
like, can you guys even hear me? Can I get a reaction to anything I'm saying? Or
Honestly, because the delay is so big, I don't know where I'm coming in and where I'm coming out. So I'm not too sure if I'm like interrupting
Me
things.
too,
If I'm
and
not
I'm
interrupting
just so
things.
worried about you doing the editing of this and needing to. There's so much overlap, so I will probably, as a default, if I can, be silent.
Which is perfect for like a comedic podcast. It's just like, we have to be silent tonight.
Yeah.
Not that you guys weren't extremely funny, but like it was just I didn't want to step on any toes. I didn't want to ruin anything. It's okay. The edit's gonna be fucked anyway because I'm gonna have to try and fix this fucking ghostly premonition that I have behind me.
Wait, where'd you go?
Where'd you
go? What?
I can't
Literally, where is it? Gone.
I can't hear him or see him. It's amazing.
Oh god, that's an existential crisis and nightmare right there. I don't want to think about that. Oh my god,
Liam.
My brother just comes. My brother comes downstairs. He's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, oh god, shit.
Liam.
What's
it's
actually
like
happening?
He's here, but not.
Yeah.
Do you guys get bullied in school?
Oh. Yes.
Out of nowhere.
Unbelievable.
Since you ask, is that a serious question? Yeah.
Let's rank childhood trauma.
To rank childhood trauma.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
It all started with beep.
I did. It always starts with beep.
Oh man, I started beep when I was 6.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That made primary school hard on account of the beep addiction.
Yeah, really hard.
There was an episode of Grey's Anatomy where a 6-year-old came in and he was addicted to meth, and I was like, beep. And I was like, man, they are really pulling these storylines out of nowhere.
What happens? I guess they're born with it.
Yeah.
And it's not Maybelline.
That's true. That's exactly what happened. The parents were cooking up meth and the kid got a meth addiction. Beep, beep, beep,
That's
beep,
right.
beep.
Sad times. Now, Lucy, as much as I would love to rank childhood trauma, which would just bring me so much joy to reminisce about, we have to follow script. We have to spin this goddamn wheel, and we have to get a topic from our lovely listeners.
That's true.
So I mean, are we ready? Are we ready before we can start the banters all about our topic? Where's the wheel?
Let's
there it is. The wheel is turning. Oh, all right, everybody. Number 6. Let me just get my little list up over here. 1 second. Oh, pardon me. Hello, I am back. Number 6. Tonight we are ranking, and I got to thank Astri for this idea. Thank you, Astri. We are going to be ranking another food one tonight. I know we love a cheeky food one.
Oh.
Which food has the worst mouth feel? Which food has the worst
mouth feel?
Has the worst mouth feel? What a random rank. Thank you, Astri. How delightfully strange. Okay.
I can think of some great non-food or some terrible non-food mouth feels. I can feel some great non-food related mouth feels.
Should we take the food out and just make it what's the worst mouthfeel then? Without getting too without
getting too beepy, we don't want to get too beepy.
Yeah, without being too beepy.
But I mean, no. I could do that. I could do non-food mouth feels. I'd have to think a little bit about food mouth feels. I'm sure I could think of something.
Let's see. What do you feel about it? Do you reckon we go the mouth feel with? We'll make it broad then.
Pretty much anything cooked by a beep chef, really.
Cactus tastes terrible in the mouth. It feels horrible.
Oil, petroleum,
razor blades.
I think food narrows it down a little bit more because
food does narrow it down.
Because then you might be ranking things that you actually. I was thinking that I might like the taste of a lot of foods, but sometimes the mouthfeel actually gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm. It's a tricky one, boys. It's tricky.
And especially because you got to think about it like right now. Like we got to think about it right now. So it's like it's not something we've had time to think about and prep for. We're just now thinking about all the things we've ever put in our mouths and which things we just went, you know what? That ain't it. That ain't it. So,
gross.
I mean, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm a texture guy. I like textures when it comes to food. Like I like different textures. I can go between all of them. So I'm actually struggling to think about like one that really kind of, grinds my gears. It's a tricky one.
Well,
You
I
know
generally
what?
don't seek out food that
What's that?
is
Luke?
horrible. What's that?
I reckon I've got one. Do you reckon I should go?
If you want to jump right into it, I mean, you're more than welcome to. I mean, you got 5 minutes to tell us all about the mouthfeel, and if you've got it front and center, I reckon you just jump in and go nuts for it.
Yeah, you don't
Absolutely.
have to.
Okay.
You don't have to speak for 5 minutes, but you have up to 5 minutes to argue
I
your case.
have up to a 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that, okay,
All right, your 5 minutes starts now. Go for it.
I present to you the food with the worst mouthfeel, which is obviously oysters. Oysters. Oysters, folks. They are the boogers of the sea. The boogers of the crustacean. I'm not even sure what we're talking. I think mollusk family is what feels right to me. I think that there is nothing more. And this is the thing, right? This is why I say sometimes I actually quite enjoy the flavor of an oyster, which doesn't take away from the fact that it's got the worst mouthfeel. I think that's probably why other seafood was invented, because they're like, oysters are pretty good, but like, who the fuck is going to want to eat that sea booger? So I guess we'll make scallops too. I guess this is God speaking. I don't know who I'm being right now, but
I know.
Oysters are
wrong.
just like
Here's a salmon.
oysters. And the thing is, right, like I have had like quite a few nice oysters where I'm actually not just tasting like straight glug. You've got like the tang of like some finger lime or something and sprinkled on top, or like like some like shallot dressing or something, and it all kind of works together. But I still think that like we are really doing everything we can to try and make oysters better. Why? Because it's got the worst mouthfeel, and they're like, we've got to do something about the mouthfeel of oysters. I guess we'll put some lime on it. And I just think like I've seen them with bubbles on top of it. Like they come out and some of them have still got bubbles in them. Like, did someone not want to pop those?
Still
like
breathing.
Before they got to the, exactly. Like they got to the table with bubbles on them. And I just think like that is just not, and they jiggle and they also give you nightmares. Remember that episode of Mr. Bean? I'll never fucking forget it. It's like that, speaking of childhood trauma, there's an episode of Mr. Bean where Mr. Bean eats too many oysters and he has like the most horrible nightmares. And the sequence is all very sort of, for Mr. Bean, it was all very artistic. Like the soundtrack was really scary and like it was all really blurry. And I would run into the other room when the nightmare sequence would come on, because it was really scary for me. And that was oyster induced. And I reckon that some oysters really have a lot to answer for in terms of like just worse mouthfeel. Not only that, but also creating nightmares.
That's next level.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know really anyone. I think as well, like the bourgeoisie could. I think oysters are also a symbol of class, and you know how like rich people like to take something that the poor eat, because poor people used to eat oysters because you could like, I don't know, go and like get them yourself sort of thing. So they used to be like the food for like poor people, and then rich people came and took it and then said like, this is a delicacy. It looks like snot, but it's a delicacy for real. And so I also think when I eat an oyster, there's mouthfeel, there's bubbles, and there's also the quite shocking feeling that I am ingesting something that I've paid $2 per oyster, which is actually pretty cheap. There's a special going on sometimes. Sometimes you're paying up like $6 an oyster for something that has been honestly gentrified. Like the oysters have been gentrified, and they've got the worst mouthfeel.
Lucy, your time is up. You've done well.
I didn't think that I would need that much, but I guess like classism in the oyster sphere really gets me fired up.
I think there's something to that though. There's something to it because what happens is people say they like oysters. I honestly believe that no one actually likes oysters, but because they have, it's like the diamonds of the sea. Like no one needs diamonds.
No one actually likes it. It's just a lot cheaper than a cocktail.
Well. Hang on a second. Careful now. I love a good glass of Shiraz. I do. Don't you get me started?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. Oh. It's because you don't want to order a blue Honolulu in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I would 100% order a blue Honolulu. Don't you get me started. I love a cheeky blue Honolulu. I'm drinking a yuzu sake right now. I'm a fancy bitch, me.
Oh my God, actually, I kind of feel like
it's not
sake
alcoholic.
now. If you're in Japan, you're drinking sake. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's my MO. No, you'll be fine. You can have a drink when you're quizzing later. But
yeah,
I think oysters is the quintessential one. I think, but I honestly think that most people would say you're wrong just because I think they pretend they like them. I don't like oysters. I think the only thing about oysters that I like when I can have them is when they're Kilpatrick because they're doused in bacon and barbecue sauce. Right? You're taking away a lot of the.
To the listeners, I would say, look inward. Look inward and actually ask yourself if you like this or you've just been told to like this and you want to look like a certain kind of person. I hope you're listening to this by yourselves, listeners, because I'm asking you to look inward.
Looking inward about the oysters.
Look inward.
No one looks good eating an oyster. No one looks good eating an oyster. You have to get the shell.
Oh, and like that scene in White Chicks where Terry Crews going. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Controversially,
Rob?
I've never seen White Chicks.
No, me either.
It does not hold up, and I think the title gives that away a bit.
I don't think it. I don't think it was right then, to be honest.
The title kind of gives it away, doesn't it? The title kind of gives it away. That was the last hurrah of just whatever you could do, crass comedy. That was the last hurrah of crass comedy. After White Chicks, they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
we gotta pull up stunts here. Like this is.
My dad is so funny, right? He was showing us some really fucking crazy films when we were younger, like Borat and White Chicks and whatever, and he would just fast forward the bits that he thought were inappropriate and it would be maybe Borat. 2 minutes of each film that he would be like, that's inappropriate. But the rest, no problemo. My 6-year-old can watch a man in a mankini just walking down the street, washing his underwear in the river. That's no problemo.
I rewatched The Goonies lately, right? And I've always loved The Goonies. In my head, I'd always loved The Goonies. And I was like, how does this film actually hold up? Firstly, it holds up very well. That's a really good movie. But there's this whole scene at the beginning when Corey Feldman, do you know Corey Feldman? He's like an 80s, real iconic 80s actor. Yeah, you don't even know who Corey Feldman is. But older people, old 25-year-olds like myself, old 25-year-olds like myself know who Corey Feldman is. He's like an iconic
My
80s
dad
actor.
told me about him or something.
Yeah. We were watching White Chicks and he told me, do you know Corey Feldman? And I was like, yeah. And
yeah, bro. Anyway, gonna go do some meth.
So there's a scene, but no joke. That's the scene. So Goonies, childhood film I loved as a kid, right? There's a scene when they get a new maid who happens to be Mexican and doesn't speak English, and Corey Feldman speaks Spanish. So he's pretending that when the mum says, this is the house, this is the kitchen, this is the bathroom, Corey Feldman's like, this is where we hide the drugs, this is where we put the heroin, this is where we put the cocaine. And I'm like, this was a kid's film. And like, we didn't blink an eye back then.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, no beeps required. Goonies all the way.
No beeps
hardcore.
required. Goonies. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and Rob, your thoughts on oysters?
Love them. Love oysters.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. I thought you would.
Yeah, because I'm posh.
Someone's got it. Like that, you know? Yeah. 2 out of 3 people hate oysters.
I think you're better than us, huh?
And then Rob's here.
I only eat oysters when I'm wearing Birkenstocks.
Of course.
That's so specific. Okay.
Otherwise,
you make me sick. You make me sick.
Whenever I've made a good crypto transaction, I like to celebrate with some oysters.
Oh, so true. Of
and
course.
A glass of rosé.
Whenever I close a deal at LJ Hooker, I celebrate with a dozen, 2 dozen maybe.
Dozen oysters, Patrick. Not Kilpatrick. Kilpatricks are for the masses. The rich just eat the Patricks. No, but this is like mouth feels. Like that's the question, right? Feels. Even though I enjoy an oyster,
that's right. I
think like I do. Like I also like put it through my mouth as quickly as humanly possible, right? Like I'm like, okay, I've got to get this done. So I put the like if it's the Kilpatrick, I've got all the toppings, and I'm like, oof, and I just down it, and I'm like, why do I do that if I supposedly like it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I like the feel of it, wouldn't I be like, having a chew and be, oh yeah, this oyster.
Swish it around your mouth a little bit, being like, oh my god, it's like a slug.
This one.
Do you know, I'll tell you what the other problem is.
Extra slimy.
The other problem with oysters as well. The other problem with oysters is like when you have it and you put it in your mouth, you're expecting the slime and then you get sand in it as well. So not only have you got the sliminess, but then you've got the crunch. The crunch of the sand, all parts of the shell that come off with it.
Oh yeah,
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible
shell's a deal breaker. Liam, how about
I like
you?
a mussel though.
Oh yeah, mussels are great. Yeah,
mussels rock.
Yeah,
what's the difference between a mussel and a oyster? Oh yeah, mussel. I prefer an oyster.
So many things.
I'm not a fan. Like that mussels have got those tiny little shells, and like it's like you gotta cut your fingers off just trying to get it open and get the mussel in there.
No,
if they don't open, you don't eat them. That's the rules.
I'm an oyster. It's just too hard.
You have to like open it.
I don't want to work for my food.
Ew.
That's true. That is true.
I just want it to slide.
All right, Rob. Now, Rob, I'm conscious of time because obviously Lucy's going to get off to off to quiz. So, Mr. Rob, do you have one you would like to go for?
I'm tossing up 2 in my head at the moment. I could go. Do you want me to go?
Tossing up two. Do
you have one that you're sure?
I could also go. I have one that's so specific. I don't think you will choose it, and if you do, then full on me. But I'm happy for you to go first if you'd like.
No, you go. I'm feeling a sporting attitude. I'll go for it.
Okay. All right. A second. Time up.
All this talk about oysters has made me want to give to the poor, so you can go first.
Fair. Thank you. I appreciate that. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Have some oysters, please.
No. Oysters aren't for you, poor man. Oysters are for us, the elite.
You got porridge.
Well, that's what they'll gentrify next. All right, grill. They'll be like, "You want some grill? $45
overnight oats are gentrified gruel."
Don't they kind of do that at most like health food and vegan restaurants now anyway?
Yeah, to be honest, kind of right there actually.
Yeah,
it's an acai bowl.
All right, so I will start my 5 minutes now, not knowing how far in advance I'll get before you actually hear anything I'm saying. That's the beauty of this one tonight. It's an absolute crapshoot. All right, here we go. So when it comes to mouthfeel and when it comes to food, like I said at the start, I'm actually pretty open to a lot of different things. If it's like custard, I'm all for it, right? Oysters are too slimy, so I'll give Lucy that. Oysters have a bit too much slime to them. and I'm not huge on that. But the thing for me is the expectation, right? So if you're going into something and your expectation is set as to what that will be, then I think it's going to be okay. Like if you go into something expecting it to be smooth and it's smooth, you're cool. If you think if it's going to be crunchy and it's crunchy, then you're sweet. The worst thing is though, when you're going into something expecting it to be one thing and then it turns out to be the complete opposite thing. Now, here is my very specific example that I've thought of now. Have you guys ever cooked fettuccine? Right?
Never heard of it.
So when you cook fettuccine, never heard of it. Never heard of it. When you cook fettuccine, right, I always get my spoon in there straight away, my fork in there straight away to stir that shit up, right? Because there's the one thing that when you put it in your mouth is the worst thing ever. And that's when you've dished yourself up your lovely bolognese or whatever you're making. And then in your mouth, you put in a piece of, like 4 pieces of pasta that have stuck together. And then you've everything else nice and al dente, and then you get to that one bit and you just bite into it, and it's just the worst because A, you're not expecting it, and B, because pasta's supposed to be nice and smooth and like and wobbly. But when you get to this one part of what bits that have stuck together, you bite into it and that shit's fucking rock hard. It's not cooked in the middle, and you're just not expecting it. Fucking pits. And that's why it's the worst, because when you're not expecting it, and I know that's a very specific example, I'm completely aware. Like I could have said literally anything else, but that's the one thing that came to my head just now.
No, it works.
But,
it works. Go for it. Get run with it.
Yeah.
Just make it about the bourgeoisie.
Ever since I was a kid.
And you're in the running.
Yeah. You know me, Rob. I'm really good at the social politics stuff and bringing that into stuff. Really great.
The bourgeoisie.
It takes
cooked fettuccine.
Yeah.
I love a hot plate of fettuccine bourgeoisie. It's the best. It's so tasty.
Spag bowl actually means spag bourgeoisie. Like people don't know that.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There are spaghettis that have been made for the lower classes that are now like spaghetti puttanesca. As a perfect example. Like that was made for the I'm pretty sure the ladies of the night, I think it was back in the day, because that's all they could afford. And then all of a sudden now you go to restaurants and it's just like spaghetti puttanesca because it sounds fucking fancy. But no, I think that's what it is. Like the pasta clumped together literally gives me like flashbacks to when I was a kid, and like when I used to like go over to, and because you could never say anything to your grandma or your auntie when they're making you lovely food, and you bite into it and you're just like, oh no. Oh, and you can't spit it out. You just have to endure through it.
So this is undercooked fettuccine, or is this cooked fettuccine that is stuck to 3 other pieces of fettuccine?
That's very key. It's very key. The rest of everything, the rest of the fettuccine is cooked, but this one little clump that has clumped together and is not cooked properly because they've clumped together in amongst all the perfectly cooked fettuccine. You see what I mean? Like everything else is great. You're eating away. It might be like your third mouthful. Boom, and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted at all. But I think the overarching thing for me is the expectation versus what you get. I think most textures are fine and most mouthfeels are okay if you're expecting it, and if you're not, and it just gets you, that's when it's a bit of a shit time. Anyway, I know that was a really specific example, but that is my time. I may yield the rest of my minute. I think I had that much left ish. So that's it. That's mine.
We've all been there. It's clumped pasta. Clumped pasta.
I don't mind a bit of clumped pasta. I really don't. I don't mind biting into 4 pieces of maybe like partially cooked fettuccine, because I quite like that chew, and you're not expecting it. I just think the bourgeoisie didn't know when they were going to get their next meal. So when they did get fettuccine, they didn't mind if it was stuck together.
Well, no, but we're not there, are we? I mean, are we? We might be actually. I'm not too sure. Maybe I.
That was how they invented lasagna.
Maybe I should start to like oysters.
The pasta just got stuck together, and there was like in between bits of sauce, and then they were like, "Oh, this tastes pretty nice layered." right? That's
Yeah.
the origin story of lasagna.
So,
definitely
like,
no.
Liam, are you bashing lasagna?
Don't you, Sully? Don't you dare! Do not you dare take those two things and compare them. Absolutely not. Don't you dare, Sully. The good name of lasagna. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's few things in this world
never.
that I'd fight harder for than lasagna, to be honest.
I fucking love lasagna. It's the best.
It's the best. It's the best.
Do you put nutmeg in your lasagna?
Lucy, I've not been known to, no.
No, do you? Is that a secret?
Some people put it in like the bechamel cheese sauce. I haven't, but I was wondering if that's like authentic and if you could give me the green light on that, Liam.
You're asking me?
You get the green light
You're
because you
asking
do.
me and
you
Liam
get the
about
green light
authentic
because you
Italian
do
cooking.
whatever the fuck you want. No, you do the green light because you're ready to go. Do whatever you want. Who cares? Just don't tell the Italians about it. You'll be fine.
I think there's a certain there's a certain beep chef that might be helpful for you. Actually, they might be able to give you some insights.
Beep chef never asks no questions.
Nutmeg in lasagna.
And it ain't nutmeg.
I put worse things in there.
Jesus. All right, Mr. Rob, we got to get moving, my guy. So let's go for you now.
I'm going to smash this out. I've been toying up a few ideas, but I'm going to go. I'm ready. You can hit the start button. Jeez. Is a clock ticking?
We've just started recording.
Now.
Just started recording. Okay. Welcome to the That's Rank podcast. My name is Rob, and I'm here to tell you about my worst mouthfeel, which is food. If it wasn't food, I'd go beard.
Food in general.
If it wasn't food, I would have gone beard hair. But because it's food, I'm going to go dry chocolate cake.
Oh, that's
dry
true.
Chocolate cake. And you know what's so? Firstly, dry chocolate cake. It starts with expectations. It starts with hope that this is what I'm looking for. That this is a tasty treat that's going to satiate my needs and make me feel good on maybe a not so good day. And you pick up this tease of a cake, you eat it, and it's cheap and it's dry. So firstly, like there's massive disappointment. Beyond disappointment, there's actually dishonesty because it's chocolate cake. It should be good. But then you get the texture of dry chocolate cake, which literally feels like you're just chewing into like a block of chalk. Like there is nothing. It starts to get flaky. It starts to get like... And this is the clincher. This is the worst part of the dry chocolate cake, is that the dry chocolate cake, even though it's lied to get into your mouth, once it's in there... it doesn't want to leave. And it starts to all congeal and cake up on the inside of your teeth and the inside of your gum. And for like hours, you're sitting there and you're like you're trying to get this like cheeky, dry, like cement-like thing that's formed like a mouthguard around your teeth. And you're just like, and you ages. Sometimes you even get your fingers in there to get rid of this bloody chocolate gunk and tar that's just found itself in every crevice of your mouth. And why? Why is it spread to every crevice? Because it was so dry when you bit into it, it exploded like a sand bundi thrown at a little child. It just popped up and filled the mouth hole with dry chocolate gunk, and then it just cakes up everywhere, and then it becomes an inconvenience. It's dishonest. It's an inconvenience. It's a bloody outrage. It's dry chocolate cake. It's the worst mouthfeel. I see the rest of my time.
Short, succinct, to the point. This is the good thing about Rob. He's so good at arguing his point. Like even when he's completely wrong, he's really good at arguing his point. Like so well, so well.
I have tears in my eyes. That was so beautiful. That was poetry.
Well, I'll tell you why. It was poetry. He's very good. But I'll tell you why I think you're wrong.
Why?
Because how do you rectify an oyster? Just a plain oyster, right? You can't really.
Covered in bacon and Worcestershire sauce, and it's delicious.
No, I'm talking about
$70
I'm talking about as intended, right? As intended. Just the oyster by itself. Oof. Can't fix it.
Still pretty good.
What about the linguine, right? Or the fettuccine stuck together. Once it's done as intended, you don't expect it. You can't really fix it. Do you know how you fix a dry chocolate cake? Lovely glass of milk. Chuck it with it. And
Hold
where
on,
you go.
hold on. Well, do you know how you fix dried pasta? You cover it in sauce. Like, that's not the deal.
Do it right the first time.
That's not the deal. You can't add things. Oh, this is a terrible mouthfeel. Yeah, just put some chocolate sauce all over it and it's going to be fantastic. Oh, that's true. You've designed, true. Go, checkmate.
I tell you, thank you. I'm glad you agree. I've missed this aspect of the podcast. We haven't done this for a little while, actually. That's why I thought I'd just chuck that out there because it's been just like lovely banter between us for the last few weeks, Rob. So getting a little bit of how's your father into it again? Too cordial.
But you can't. I think that is a cop out. Adding milk, like you can't add.
Of course
milk.
it is.
No, but it's about the feel.
Of course,
about the feel.
Of course it is. That's a complete cop out. Because you do add stuff to oysters. You do add stuff to pasta. I was trying to stir you up.
If we've got cake at home, my dad will always want it in a bowl and will always want it with a little bit of milk.
He's a smart man.
Oh, so
no matter how dry or moist the cake is on its own, he always wants it with a little bit of milk. I think that's a bad mouthfeel.
Do you know why? Childhood trauma. We come full circle.
That's
At some point, when your dad was just a little boy, he's eating some dried cake and he's
chocolate cake, and he's like, "I will never make my mouth hole do that again."
It's milk or it's
I don't
nothing.
care if it's a yogurt cake with syrup dribbling out the side of it. Put it in a bowl and put some bloody milk on it.
I had a beautiful date and walnut cake today. A date and walnut cake, homemade by a colleague. They brought it in, put it on the tambour, and it was delicious. Would your father put milk on the date and walnut cake?
Yep. Always.
Some people don't change, man. Some people set in their ways. It's how it is.
That's right. I think the dry chocolate cake is so true because we had these things at school called shoot parties. So, like, was your year group like separated into like, I don't know, like 10 little groups, and they do like roll call and an anti-bullying course and blah, blah, blah. And
we didn't get that one. No,
obviously.
I just got bourgeoisie on one side, proletariat on the other. Like we were just breaking up that way.
You got two streams. You either got the anti-bullying online course, or you got sent to learn about the bourgeoisie and the history of oysters. Like, you can tell where I went. But every few shoots, there would be like a shoot party, just where like the year level coordinator wouldn't organize anything. And without fail, some bitch named Sophie would bring in like a greens chocolate cake to share. And we'd all be like, hell yeah, chocolate cake. And then you'd start cutting it up. And the moment you pull the knife out, you'd be like, oh no, because there's already crumbs falling off the knife. And you're like, I reckon it's going to be dry. You cut into it again, you pull out a slice, and like it kind of looks like a wave because that front bit of it is like fallen off because it's being held together by just like sheer will at this point. And the greens cake mix gives you like the thinnest little shitty layer of icing. So like it's so far gone at this point. And you're like, this is free food and I don't even want it. Like
I don't want it.
That's how bad this situation is.
Yeah. And it's got the word chocolate in it and you don't want it. It's free. It's got the word chocolate. Not appealing.
Don't want it.
Whose mum or dad bought that cake? That's what I want to know. Because like that child trauma. That's
just leave it in the bowl and bring that in. Cake mix.
Put it in the bin.
How much milk would it have taken to fix that cake? That's the litmus test.
Oh man.
2 liters. chocolate milk.
Just 2 liters.
So bad. And then you'd sort of be biting into this cake being like, this is the weirdest milk I've ever tasted. Like, it would just taste like milk because the chocolate cake doesn't even taste like itself anymore.
Chunky milk.
It would taste like a crumbly. I think that would be not a great mouthfeel, like crumbs in chocolate milk. You know,
it's like the cake's so dry it's curdled the milk. Like what the hell?
Yeah. The milk's like
it's turned the milk into yogurt.
The poor cake is so thirsty. It's like anything. It's so porous.
You pour 2 liters in and it's like you still got space. You're like, what the hell? We can keep going. Like what's
the difference
crazy
between a light dessert and a dry dessert? Because some things that are, oh my gosh, it's so light. I'm like, yeah, because there's nothing to it. I feel like it's gone. Like, you know what I mean?
Like
what's the difference between the two? Yeah. Actually, I don't mind a mousse, but I do think some souffles, coming back to like Beep Chef's souffles, I don't think they're all that. Am I crazy for that?
No, you're not crazy.
I think
you're not crazy.
Guys.
It's all about.
It's a bit like the oysters. Like it's a bit like the thing about a souffle is that it's very hard to make a souffle that doesn't like crumble, that doesn't fall. So you got to make the souffle, and then you got to serve the souffle fresh. So that's why I think that's why I think it's like sought after, because like you need literally a staff to make it for you in order for it to be.
They're
like
the oysters of desserts, man. Overrated.
They're the oysters of desserts. Yeah.
And people pretend to like them.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna speed this up because we haven't ranked yet, Lucy, and we're gonna get you out here. So we have to do the business. We have to do the business end of this show, which is actually ranking our 3-to-1 of each of our ranks. How you would rank it, but we go in reverse order. So Rob would have to go first. He's 3-to-1, and then at the end we get a lovely rank. And we go from there, and you go off into the sunset to do your quiz. Rob and I will be there because we know the first question. All right,
yes.
Rob.
Win some Bogan bingo.
And I forgot The Aviator, which is like probably one of my favorites out of all those films. But damn it. Okay, I've got my rank.
Oh well. Go for it.
I got my rank, and I'm sorry, Liam. But like the clump,
right.
the pasta clumps, I just think like I'd still eat that, and I'd be like, maybe it wasn't the best, but I wouldn't be like gross. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's all clumped together, I'd be like, that's okay. It's not like sought after. Maybe I'd eat around it, but it's not like it's not the end. It's not the end of the dish. Oh wait, hold on.
Sure.
My worst mouthfeels. No. Oysters. No, oysters are 3 because I like oysters. Hold on. I was actually ranking them from things that I liked. Hold on. I've got this all the way right. I'm sorry, Lucy. Welcome to That's Rank Podcast, but I'm actually going to put oysters last because I really like oysters. I like them.
You like the mouthfeel? Oh, Jesus.
I like
oysters. Glasses. Get the glasses quick.
So they're 3. Number 2 would be the pasta because like I'd still eat it. And number 1 would be the chocolate cake because like there's no amount of milk. Oh, shit, she's wearing the glasses. Okay, I'm changing my rank again. Yeah. The glasses are on. I'm feeling intimidated. No. I will.
She's got the one because she's crying now. She's crying. She's crying through those glasses, bro. She's crying through those glasses. Look what you've done.
I missed that.
Look what you've done.
I missed that. No, she's intimidated herself so much. Okay.
All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, so just to recap: 3 oysters, 2 spaghetti patini, and number 1 is
oyster spaghetti, chocolate cake. And I would eat it. It'd be I would eat it. I'd consider eating it, and I wouldn't eat it. That's how the rank goes.
Fair enough. In that case, I will rank thusly, seeing as I go now. So in terms of the mouthfeel that I dislike the least, I dislike the least. Yeah, that's right. Look, everyone seems to have like a what have I done, Lucy? Am I wrong?
Dislike the most.
Dislike the most because this is my least.
It's a double negative.
Third, not my number.
So it's like dislike the least would be the thing you like the most.
Yeah, which would make sense in this case because I'm ranking my last one. So the one that I like the least would be the number one. Correct. So what I said the first time was correct.
I'll shut the fuck up, Suz. My number three. I would actually still
gladly eat and not care about a dry chocolate cake, to be honest with you. I don't care about that mouthfeel at all. So I'm going to put that at number 3.
Suck
I'm
ass, Rob.
Where's my glasses?
Do you just dab?
I'm used to this. Liam does this to me every time. It's true.
Well, I mean, and I say this every time. Pick an answer that I won't like as much or like as much then. That's what I'm
doing. It's your personality.
That's right. Exactly.
Think of a good answer and then just do the opposite of that.
You're correct. And then I probably like it. That's right. And they'll probably like it. Yeah, that's right. Correct. All right. I put myself number 2 with the fettuccine, but number 1, mouthful of oysters are pretty gross. Like they're like snot. I'm going to have to put oysters number 1 for myself because I do not like them. And I think that the mouthfeel is disgusting. Yeah. Lucy, it's your turn and you can put yourself number 1. Don't let anyone, or Rob did that, didn't he? So yeah, you can do that if you want to. It's all good.
I do that. Yeah.
Don't worry. You got to look after number 1 first, right, Rob?
That's right. I bring my own milk.
I bring my own milk to the chook party just in case.
So where are you going to go? 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. The best mouthfeel out of the 3 would be, I think it's chewy fettuccine because I actually kind of like it.
You'd like
That's
it.
the thing. I kind of like a chewy fettuccine. Yeah. It's annoying. I'm like
a chewy fettuccine.
Well, right? It's just annoying, but it's not like I wouldn't eat it. I think the dry chocolate cake is just like an inescapable hell, whereas the oyster
really.
It is, Liam.
Liam so desperately wants
no, you get stuck in your teeth, get your finger up there, and guess what? You scoop it all out, more chocolate cake. Delicious.
And a bit of your finger too, which is nice.
Yeah. Right.
Number 2 would be the oyster, and number 1 would be chocolate cake, and that's the God honest truth.
Yeah, well, what would you
because I said that I would eat an oyster. In fact, some oysters are kind of nice, but you got to do a lot of shit to it to help it. A dry chocolate cake, I'd probably throw in the fucking bin. It makes me so mad.
The poor person who made that chocolate cake, you wouldn't even get near it. Poor person. They're just trying their best.
Well, just make a better one. Put some sugar syrup in there. Put some oil in there. Get some wet ingredients.
On that
cake is crying out.
On that, you've got 2 things that could be made better just by doing it correctly. Would improve mouthfeel 100%. But you have one thing that is just naturally got a bad mouthfeel. So,
is that oysters?
But that doesn't matter because the rank. Yeah, that is oysters. But the rank is done. We have ranked. We have got our numbers all together tonight. In third place for the let me start that all over again. In third place for the worst mouthfeel, the best mouthfeel of the 3 is going to be the stuck together fettuccine. Number 3, number 2, coming in second place is going to be the oyster, meaning number 1, the worst mouthfeel is going to be the dry chocolate cake. Rob is the winner. Well done, Rob.
Thank you.
Well done for winning the first rank back for a long while. Well done, mate.
I haven't won one for a while either, so I'm very chuffed. I'm very chuffed about that one. And
yes, that's good.
But Lucy, you made a good point about the icing and about how the prepackaged cakes just don't have enough icing. And it's like, seriously, not enough icing on a cake is a bugbear of mine. Like carrot cake without enough icing.
Lucy, he always does this all the time as well. Once he wins, he has to explain his point heaps more as well, even though he's already
won. And also he gives Lucy, you made a really good point about this. And it's like, you're so smug. It's annoying. and I reversed my fucking vote. Nah. You actually made a really good point about this.
You made a really good point. You tried so hard. Like, I was really impressed by how much passion
you
and how much
guys
you
are
tried.
so sweet.
It was. I just wanted to raise the icing actually as an issue, because the icing I felt was a separate. True. Like, it's a good point. Like, there's and like, you buy a packaged cake and it's like you're supposed to be the experts here. Like, you're supposed to be the experts. Like, how could you just like give me no icing?
They're just trying to turn a seriously. They're just trying to turn a. They're just trying to turn $1. They don't care about you.
Yeah,
they don't care about you at all.
You know what? They used to make a good cake, and then they got on the beep, and then like. Sarah Lee used to have her life together.
But once Sarah Lee actually makes a bitchin' like what's it called? Like what's it called with a huge one? Sheet cake. Sarah Lee makes a bitchin' chocolate sheet cake.
Oh, pretty sure they went under. They got under the beep too hard. They lost their family. I'm pretty sure Sarah Lee no longer exists.
Sarah Lee, anyway, I should have known she was putting something in that sheet cake. It was beef.
Yeah, that's why it was so good.
She's a tricky one.
She is tricky.
All right, guys, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Everybody, we got to get Lucy out of here so she can go do her quiz, be the quiz master that she is. Rob, congratulations, winning dry chocolate cake.
Thank you,
Lucy. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I hope I can join for another one in the future.
Absolutely. I'll get like a live like censor button so I can just press it every time you talk about beep.
beep, chef, beep.
Now, it's customary, Lucy, for us to end this episode or end the show with a final thought. Now, normally I throw to Rob because Rob is fantastic at final thoughts, but I feel like you might have a really good final thought to send us off. What say you?
Oh, God. Nah, Rob, go first. That's my final thought. Someone else go first. I don't know what a final thought is.
Well, there's only one. There's only one, Lucy.
There's only one final thought. You're more than welcome to jump in there.
Me?
I'm happy to go. No, I'll go. So, look, in life, every now and then in life, things don't quite go our way. Sometimes we put something into our mouth which is horrible, which is torture, which we can't get the flavor out of our mouth. It's one thing to actually swallow it. It's one thing to spit it out, but sometimes there's remnants. Sometimes there's things that are sticking out. The important thing to remember in life when things don't go your way and you get a bad mouthfeel stuck right in the mouth hole is just remember your body is your friend. Your body is your friend. It will help clean. It will help you recover. And no matter how bad the mouthfeel, it's not too long before you're going to get yourself a beeping good oyster down that gullet, and all your troubles are going to slide away like a slippery, slimy oyster.
See, and this is why I throw it to you every single time. It's fantastic. Every single time.
Why are you weren't in Japan right now?
I'm not in Japan. I'm in Australia. You can come. I'm fair game.
You actually? I thought you were in Japan this whole time.
No, he's been in Bali. He's just got back from Bali. That's where he's been.
I go back on Monday.
Anyway, we can discuss this offline once I've ended the recording. Guys,
okay.
Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us once again. Wait a second, Lucy. I've got to do the plugs. Jeez. Like, share, subscribe. Do all the fun things. Give us 5 stars. Comment below. What's your worst mouthfeel? Keep an eye out for the Instas. That's going to do it for this episode of the That's Rank podcast. We'll see you next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Ciao.